the scary story that my dad used to tell me when I was a kid. Yeah, can we turn on one light, or is that not possible?
Actually, I think it's all
for effect. Okay.
Ooh.
So, don't take pictures! No pictures, paparazzi.
video.
Okay, so in the Philippines, our public transportation is a jeep, and we call it the jeepney. And then back in I don't know, forever ago, my dad wasn't rich. So I mean, he's not rich now, but okay. Anyway, he had to work to get to college, and his parents didn't pay for it. So he had to take up a job, and what he did was he was a jeepney driver. So he would work late nights after school, just driving jeepneys and dropping people off, doing like that. And then one night, sorry, one night it was almost his shift, his work ends at midnight, and it was like 11:30, let's say. I forget the exact time, it doesn't matter. And then he's just driving, and it's all dark and empty and no one's around, and suddenly he sees this woman in a white dress just standing all creepy, just like this, in the street side, and she holds her hand up. So he goes beside her and picks her up, and she sits all the way at the back of the jeepney, and then she's just like this. And then what's this? So my dad then she said, okay, just drop me off at this place, and it was a few minutes away. So he was driving, then suddenly a dog ran in front of the car. So he's like, "Arr!" Then he stops, and then almost crashes into something, but doesn't. Then he looks up on that, what's it called, the mirror? Yeah, the mirror where the driver's the rear view mirror, and then he sees in the back that nobody's there anymore, and that she's gone, and so he's like, oh shit, okay, so he's just freaked out and keeps on driving and just drives away. And then so once he calmed down, he was listening to music, blah blah, and suddenly he looks in the rear view mirror and he sees the lady back in the seat with some blood dripping here. Yeah. And he's like, and he got so scared. So of course he stopped the car again, "Arr!" And then he's like, oh crap. And then he looks in the mirror, and then she's gone. And he's like, I'm really scared. Obviously he's freaked out. And then
maybe she falls to the ground.
And then wait. And so he keeps driving and freaking out. And then he looks again in the mirror, and she's there again, but closer, and with more blood, but getting closer. And he freaks out again and stops. And when he looks in the mirror, she's not there, and he's like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. So he's going really fast already, and then he looks in the mirror again, and the freaking woman is there for again, and her face is full of blood, and he just stops, and then and obviously she's not there anymore again for the bajillionth time, and he's like, okay. So he stops the car, and he stops the car and just to take a deep breath, and he's like, okay, relax. And he looks again in the mirror, and she's there, but she's right here behind him, her face is right here, and it's full of blood, and her white dress was just stained in blood everywhere. And then he was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. She's gonna kill me. And suddenly she gets her hand on his shoulder just like this, and she's like, oh, how do you say this in English? Excuse me, can you drive a little slower, please? And that's the story my dad used to tell me when we were a kid, and his grandfather, and his dad told it, so it's kind of a Filipino thing, and I'm gonna tell that to my kids, so.